Oops, the camera, the sound is off. Hello and welcome to another live stream. I hope that you're all very well. Can somebody comment and let me know whether they can hear me? Can anybody hear me? Fantastic. Okay. Manisha said, always here. Can you hear me, Manisha? Yes or no? Okay, let's get started. And if you can't hear me, I'm sure somebody will let me know. Yes, Manisha said that she can hear me. Thank you very much, Manisha. Okay, today we're going to be talking about all-weather driving test tips. So we're going to be talking about what happens in the driving test when the weather is not what you expect, and why you need to be prepared for all weather driving, not just for the driving test, but after the test as well. So let's get started. Yash said that, yeah, he or she can hear me. So thank you very much. Oops. As I said, today we're talking about all weather driving test tips. So let's get started with the driving lesson. Firstly, thank you very much to everyone who's here, and thank you very much for all those who are subscribers and will be watching the video later on. If you're not a subscriber to this channel, then please hit that subscribe button now so that you do not miss out on our future videos. The magic word for today, the magic word is thank you. So I'll be asking this magic word later on, and the first person who types in the magic word, which is thank you, will get our Psychology of Learning to Drive course completely free of charge. It's a very good course. You will learn about the way the brain remembers things. So the way the brain will remember how you are taught your reversing skills, roundabouts, etc. It also covers about the inner self. We all know, for example, that apple is better than chocolate for you, but then we're all tempted to go for the chocolate. So this course explains why, amongst many other things. So let's get started with the driving lesson, all-weather driving lesson, and that includes sunshine. So that's exactly where we're going to start off, with the sunshine, because that's something that we could do with more of in this country. Now, you might think, I love the sun. You know, open top, you're driving along, you got the wind in your hair. What else do you want? Where's the hazards, you may be saying? There are a lot of hazards about. Before I continue, I'm just going to read something. It goes without saying that you should drive at a speed that is suitable for driving. That's right. You should always drive at a speed that's suitable for driving for the weather conditions. That was Yash Mester. Sorry. Okay. So the weather, the sunshine, driving in sunshine, especially when the sun is low, it causes a lot of dazzle. And even if you put the sun visors down, it doesn't really help sometimes. On top of that, if you have a dirty windscreen, then that really makes it difficult to see, sometimes almost impossible. So these are just some of the hazards in the sunshine. So the top tip for driving in the sunshine for your driving test is make sure that you have the windscreen totally clear, not just the windscreen, all windows and mirrors. make sure they are sparkling so that you can see clearly. And you may not need them, but take a pair of sunglasses with you as well. Now, a lot of people get confused. They say, you know, if I wear sunglasses, the examiner will not be able to tell whether I'm checking my mirrors, and I may fail unnecessarily. I can assure you that you will not fail just because you're wearing sunglasses. If you're wearing sunglasses and you're genuinely checking the mirrors, the examiner will know. Driving examiners are professional people and they will be able to tell whether you're checking the mirrors or not. Okay. The other thing, um, water. Always take a bottle of water with you, especially when it's hot and sunny. And even if it's not hot and sunny, it doesn't matter what the weather is like. Take a small bottle of water with you. This guy's got a big bottle. That's why I'm saying take a small bottle with you, uh, and keep it near yourself, near somewhere where you can easily access it. Make sure it's accessible. During the test, the driving examiner will request that you pull up on the left and then move off again at least about 5 times, if not more. You can use this opportunity to have a small sip of water. Okay, rain. You may hate the rain, you may love the rain. Now, this young lady in the picture, she obviously loves the rain. And you've got a combination of rain and sunshine in this picture, which is what happens occasionally when we are driving. Now, the UK has over 100 days of rain each and every single year. So you might as well get used to it. Uh, you know what they say, you can't change the weather, but you can change the way you feel about it. Now, when you do a driving test, the examiner will say, move off when you're ready. And a lot of people, learner drivers, they feel under pressure to move off. But you don't need to move off straight away. Listen to the examiner. Move off when? Only when you are ready. And a lot of learner drivers, they get in the car, start the engine, and straight away they want to put the wipers on. And instructors will even say, make sure you demist the window. But more important than that is your feet. You've walked from the test center to the car. It's raining. Your shoes are wet. Those wet shoes may slip off the brake pedal when you are driving. So it's vital before you try to dry the windows, before you try to put the wipers on or anything else, point the vent towards your feet and dry your shoes. Put it on full blast, the fan. Wait 30 seconds. Wait a minute if you have to. Make sure your shoes are dry. That is the top tip for driving in the rain. I personally knew a pupil who took the driving test in their own car and had a little accident within the first minute, within the first 60 seconds, because their foot slipped off the brake um, during the test because it was wet. So this is very, very important. Now, your shoes are dry, and what do people do next? They put the wipers on. If the wipers goes on, make sure so does the headlights. And you may be wondering, it's daytime. By having the headlights on, I'm not going to be able to see any better. But it's not you. The headlights are not there for you. They're for other drivers, other road users. Now, when it rains, the windows get all misted up. You going for your driving test will make sure the windows are sparkling. You will make sure that you can see properly. But unfortunately, there are a few drivers who will just get in their cars and drive off. They will then put the heating on while they're driving, and it will take them 2 or 3 minutes to be able to see properly. During those few minutes, you having your headlights on can be vital, may save an accident. They may be waiting to pull out of a junction, and you're driving along. If you have your headlights on, they will be able to see you and they will not pull out in front of you, resulting in you having to do an emergency stop unexpectedly in the driving test. So, anytime your wipers are on, your headlights must be on. Yeah. Yash again said, even wearing comfortable shoes. Yeah, comfortable shoes. You have to wear shoes according to the weather. Correct. Thank you very much for that. Okay, let's carry on. Another thing in the rain, and a lot of driving instructors unfortunately are guilty for this. They will tell their learner drivers, don't drive fast, keep the speed down, it's wet. This is not what they want in the driving test. This is not what the examiners want to see. They want to see you make progress. If you drive slow in the rain, then unfortunately you can fail the driving test for driving slow. Tia said, I made it. So excited for this topic to be covered. Thank you, Tia. Okay, so don't drive slow. Now, at the same time, you have to keep your stopping distance. Normally, the stopping distance is 2 seconds. We say to keep 2 seconds away from the driver in the front. In the rain, keep 4 seconds. Keep double the distance. So if there's a driver in front of you and the person is driving slow, then of course you want to drive slow and keep your distance in front. But if there's no one in front of you and the road is clear, whether it's raining or it's not raining, the examiner will expect you to drive up to the speed limit, provided it's safe to do so. If you're approaching a bend, then you need to slow down or you need to start braking much earlier. So you're braking lighter. So again, before I move on to the next page, don't drive like a hedgehog. Okay, this is a good one. Puddles. Loads of people fail for puddles, especially in Uxbridge. Just as you come out of the test centre, there's a national speed limit road, and the road tilts slightly. And every time it rains, there's a huge puddle. Learner drivers, they see the national speed limit sign and they accelerate into the puddle. If you accelerate into a puddle, you will fail your driving test for it. There are several reasons for this. Firstly, you've got an excellent chance of splashing pedestrians. Just as a note there, if you splash a pedestrian, you will not only fail the driving test, but you can get 3 points on your license and a fine. Even if there's no pedestrians, you need to slow right down and avoid the puddle if it's safe to do so. If that means going on the wrong side of the road, then you go on the wrong side of the road. And I must emphasize, if it's safe to do so. If it's not safe to do so, and then you go slowly through the puddle, because you never know what's in the puddle. There could be a hump in the puddle, and you might hit this hump at a high speed and damage the car, like one of I know our subscribers that happened to them. So I'm not going to mention any names, but I do know this person. Tia said, so off the gas when there is a bend in sight. Yeah, off the gas, that's right. Check mirrors first, ease off the gas, and be prepared to slow down. Thank you, Tia. Tissues. Why would you need a box of tissues? A box of clean tissues. Don't have tissues just all screwed up, or just, even folded up tissues. If you're going for a driving test, you must take tissues either in a tissue box or in a packet. And that's a very, very important reason for this. Imagine you're doing a parallel park. The mirrors you can't see because of the rain. If you've got dirty tissues, no problem at all. You can wipe the mirror off with dirty tissues. You know what? If I was doing a driving test and I had no tissues, I'd wipe them with my sleeve. It doesn't matter, because at least I can see. But the question is, what are you going to do about the left mirror, the mirror where the examiner is sitting? You can't go around and trying to clean that mirror, go on top of the examiner. If you have some clean tissues, you give the box of tissues to the examiner and you say, excuse me, do you mind just wiping that mirror for me, please? And no examiner in the UK will object to that. Provided you give them a clean box of tissues or a clean packet of tissues and you ask them to wipe your mirror, they will wipe the mirror, meaning your reversing will be a lot easier. Ubi said, what about the left mirror, Shaq? Well, I think I've just answered that. That's why you need a box of tissues, Ubi. Clean tissues. Thank you for that comment. Okay. That was the rain. Let's move on to fog. Now, we don't get that much fog in the UK compared to rain. But when there is fog, we get a lot of disruption. So few preparations is very important, and knowing the basics is vital. Firstly, wipers on. You don't need them continuously on, but every now and then just give the windscreen a little wipe, because fog builds up on the windscreen and you may not be able to tell straight away, but after you've been driving for about 5 minutes, you'll find it harder to see. Just a little wipe every couple of minutes makes all the difference. Same as the rain, wipers on, headlights on. Anytime, whatever the weather is, if you're using the if you're using the wipers, then the headlights must be on. Now, Ubi said, if it's foggy, should we use the fog lights or wait for the examiner to ask us to do so? Ubi, that's a fantastic question, because the answer is not that simple, unfortunately. You do not use the fog lights in the driving test. If you use the fog lights in the driving test, there's a high possibility that you will fail the driving test. The reason for that is because by law, fog lights must not be used when visibility is higher than 100 meters. Fog lights can only be used when visibility is below 100 meters. And if the visibility was that bad that fog lights need to be used, the examiner will not conduct the test. So do not use fog lights in the test. If visibility is below 100 meters, the test will not get conducted in the first place. So what if visibility is less than 100 meters? If, as I said, Tia, if visibility is less than 100 meters, then the examiner will not be doing the driving test. In the fog, we don't use a 2-second rule. We increase that to 3 seconds. So you've always got a bit of extra space. Now, window must be open, even if it's a little bit. Just for the fun of it, can somebody tell me why it's important to have the window open? Anybody tell me why it's important that the window should be open during the fog? Looks like this is going to be like last week. I'm going to be counting. Can't anybody tell me? So, oh, well done. So is this Yash said, yes, so you can hear what's coming. Perfect, 100%. And that's why the windows must be open. You could be coming out of a junction and you're looking right, you're looking left, you don't see anything because of the fog. The person may not even have the headlights on. They should have their headlights on. They may not. If your windows are open, at least you'll be able to hear the traffic. So that is very important. Whether you are doing a driving test or not, anytime you're in the fog, have your windows open. Yeah, asking the examiners to wipe the window. Well, Mr. Oka, yeah, there's nothing wrong with asking the examiners to wipe the windows. No examiner will mind. No, examiners are human beings in the end of the day. Why would anybody mind? As long as you give the examiner clean tissues, the examiners will not object. Okay, what's today's magic word? Can somebody tell me? The magic word to get the psychology of learning to drive. Can somebody tell me the magic word? I don't believe. Thank you. Fantastic, Yash. Yash has got it. So, congratulations to Yash. And while we're congratulating Yash, please, you've got this psychology course. You must send me a message on info@dtcuk.co in order to claim the prize. I will pin the comment with your name on it, and I will put the email address on. The only reason I'm mentioning it and I'm emphasizing it is last week we had a couple of winners, and you know what? None of them claimed. So I am surprised. What is the time? It looks like a very short session today. Okay. Oh, there's more slides. I forgot. Snow. It reminds me of Christmas. Okay. Firstly, there is no road markings in the snow. So that's something you have to bear in mind. When it snows, the road markings are all covered up. So we have to rely more on the road signs. And this is one of the reasons why the giveaway sign is upside down. All other warning signs in a triangle are with the base pointing, the base at the bottom and the top of the triangle pointing top. The giveaway sign is the only one with the base of the top pointing downwards. Okay. So another thing you've got to do in the snow is to accelerate gently. No sudden acceleration, accelerate gently and brake lightly. Brake early and brake lightly. Bear in mind the stopping distance can be increased by up to 10 times. Oops, something went wrong there. I hit the button too many times. When you move off in the snow, always try to move off in the highest gear possible. This is usually the second gear. The first gear will spin too fast and it can actually make the wheels spin. It's like walking in the snow. When you walk in the snow, we tend to take longer steps rather than shorter ones. So in the same way, these are some of the tips for driving in the snow. Now, it doesn't matter whether it's light snow, it doesn't matter whether it's heavy snow, whether there's fog, whether there's high winds, or whether there's ice, rain, whatever. The DVSA has a duty. The DVSA has a duty of care. They have to make sure that, firstly, it's safe for you to do your driving test. They need to make sure it's safe for the examiner, and they need to make sure it's safe for the public. So that's the first thing. They have a duty of care. So if the DVSA feels that it's not safe for you to do your driving test, they will cancel it. Now, if a driving test is cancelled due to bad weather, unfortunately, you will not be able to claim any compensation from the DVSA. However, they will book you another driving test free of charge, and usually it's not months and months away. The DVSA will give you priority. Now, when you apply for your driving test, you'll receive an email, a booking confirmation email. That email will have a telephone number on it for the local test center. And it will say, in the case of snow, fog, high winds, to call this number to find out if the test is being conducted. That is the only number you need to call. Do not type in Google so-and-so driving test center, because those numbers are not for the test centers. They're either will take you to the DVSA head office, or there'll just be some random driving instructor numbers. So call the test center before. If you wake up in the morning and there's a massive blanket of white snow and you think there is no way the test is going to be conducted today, I'm not going, then you will lose your money. You need to call the test center. At least then they will take your name and they know you've called and they'll tick you off. Lamson said, hazard perception test is ridiculous. Yeah, there's a lot of ridiculous things. We will talk about the hazard perception test soon. But in the meantime, we're going to talk about something else. What type of learner driver are you? You might think, what's this guy talking about? Yeah, I'm asking you a question. What type of learner driver are you? What is the best way to pass your theory test? What is the best way to study for the hazard perception test? What is the best method of learning roundabouts? What is the best way of learning how to reverse? If you want to know these answers, next Sunday, 25th of February, 4 o'clock, I'll be here. And that's what we're going to be discussing. What type of learner driver are you? We are all individuals and we all learn in different ways. I'll be telling you on how you can find out what type of learner driver you are. And once you know what type of learner driver you are, how you can take advantage of that and use that to help you not just pass the theory test, not just pass the driving test, but to help you with all your other learning, whatever it may be, whether it's learning A levels, whether it's learning for a degree, or whether it's learning swimming or learning to play a piano. Until next time, please take care of yourselves. Thank you very much. Bye bye.